Hey, what's up, Michigan? Welcome back to a very special edition of State Champs Hangtime, Michigan. I'm Lorne Plant. Joining me as he does each and every week during the boys' basketball season, Scoop IPS, TJ Kelley. You ready for the stretch run?
Oh, yeah, it is. So what a beautiful time of year. March Madness is here.
That's right. Regional finals, boom. One of the best weeks of the year coming up, quarters, semis, and state championships. Hangtime is presented by Lawrence Technological University. Live your college basketball dreams by recruiting yourself at LTUathletics.com. We are going to have a way too early conversation on next year's Mr. Basketball race. TJ has selected 5 juniors, and that discussion is coming up momentarily. On the Hangtime Michigan Companion Podcast, our BCAM Chalk Talk is with the head coach of the defending Division II state champs, Grand Rapids Catholic Central's TJ Meerman. And you could watch that conversation right now on the State Champs Michigan social media channels, including YouTube, and you can listen to it in podcast form on Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, or wherever you get your podcasts. The State Champs crew made it out to 5 regional semifinal matchups on Monday. Let's find out how those turned out. We start with a pair of Downriver League teams squaring off in a D1 regional semi as Woodhaven took on Lincoln Park. Warriors lost to LP in both meetings during the regular season, but the third time would be the charm. Senior Elisha Warren is averaging 33 points a game in the postseason. Didn't need to reach that plateau Monday because 17 of his game-high 19 came in the first half. Woodhaven rolls to a 56-34 victory. Next up, Cass Tech in the regional finale. To Troy Athens for another D1 regional tussle between Warren De La Salle and Roseville. Pilot junior Tristan Nichols flew off the runway in this one. Game high 31 points as they poured it on. A 76-62 win. They'll take on another Macomb Area Conference school in Chippewa Valley in the regional championship. We head to mid-Michigan for another D1 matchup as the defending state champs Grand Blanc took on Flint Carman Ainsworth. Sold-out crowd for this one at CA, and despite a game-high 33 points from the Cavalier senior Makai Ellison, Grand Blanc with 3 players in double figures as the Bobcats clawed their way to a 65-58 victory. They'll face Petoskey in Midland for regional hardware. Moving our way west to Grand Haven, another big crowd in attendance to see Grand Rapids, Northview, and Muskegon. The Mr. Basketball finalists and Belmont commit Kyler Vanderjagt had a team-high 18 points, while Jalen Charity and Tyran Thomas also finished in scoring in double figures, 68-55 the final. Northview will take on Holland West Ottawa next. And finally, to a Division II matchup as a pair of unbeatens squared off in the regional semi. Our number 1 team in the state, Williamston, meet Nonstead at Williamston. Hornets put on a show in front of the faithful, led by Mason Docks, who had a game-high 21 points. 57-38 was the final score. Williamston will now face Lansing Catholic in a D2 regional title tilt. We welcome TJ Kelley into the conversation. Your opportunity to talk up why you liked Williamston all year. They were number 1 in our rankings for the majority of the season.
Yeah, well, the Hornets have experience, they have size, and they have the components that it takes to wind up winning a state title. They have size with Max Burton, who's headed to Western Michigan. You mentioned Mason Docks, and Mason Docks guards step up in March, and he definitely did that. And then you have Jay Wallace, who's committed as a preferred walk-on to Toledo, who can really add some versatility as far as being able to step outside, shoot it, and hit the boards.
Yeah, D2 is really, really going to...
Loaded.
It's going to be packed here as we go for the stretch run. Hangtime's also brought to you by the Michigan High School Athletic Association. The MHSAA needs officials. Go to MHSAA.com, click on the button that says Officials. Tell them State Champs sent you. For more than 25 years, the greatest honor a Michigan high school student athlete can earn, the Detroit Athletic Club Foundation's High School Athlete of the Year. You're one of the tops in your sport. Prioritize education and giving back, like Cassius Winston, Megan Bobian, Rakia Jackson, and Aiden Hutchinson did. 6 male and 6 female nominees earn $1,000 of scholarship money, with $5,000 each to be awarded at an amazing red carpet gala in downtown Detroit in June. The registration deadline now extended through March 25th. But know this, you cannot be nominated if you don't apply. Download the application today at dacathleteoftheyear.com.
Attention, Grand Rapids. Starting right now, River City strikes gold.
And a hammer for Trayvon Duval.
Gold is dug up from the shadows. Gold is worked and refined. It's a process. And when you finally see it, nothing shines quite like gold.
Other Hangtime partners include the Michigan Army National Guard, and this season, the Basketball Coaches Association of Michigan and state champs are together to celebrate the great game by promoting unity among teams, schools, and communities. BCAM has launched the One Team program. We talked this week with Grand Rapids Catholic Central head coach TJ Meerman for his thoughts on the One Team campaign.
I'm a proud member of BCAM. I appreciate everything they do for the state of Michigan and all of our players and all of us coaches as well, from training to the coaching clinics that they host to the award ceremonies that they have. Everything is first class with BCAM, and so we definitely really appreciate that. And the whole one team idea is something that we try to embrace every year. I know that's their code words for this year, but
yeah,
we share film with anybody that needs film. We open up our practices. We have, when Pontiac Notre Dame comes over to scrimmage our team this past year, we have a big dinner where the two teams have dinner together afterwards.
Nice.
At our events. We hosted an event at Van Andel Arena this year, and we had dinner for both teams after to sit together and hang out. And I know that Mike did the same thing at Grand Blanc this year. And so, if we're to win a game after a game, in the state playoffs, most coaches that we've talked to are like, "Hey, go win the whole thing." And if we were to lose, I would say the same thing to them. Go run the table. So, anyway, I think being a former high school coach former high school player, a college player that was able to have his college paid for, anytime you can promote other players and help promote other programs in our state to have that similar type of experience, we got to do it. That's what we're here for. That's what TJ does for a job, and you guys do the same thing as state champs, help them promote. So.
Now, we talked to Coach Meerman about this year's Cougar team compared to last year's, Mr. Basketball candidate Jack Karazinski, and so much more. You need to go listen to the podcast. The entire interview is available on the State Champs Michigan's Hangtime Companion podcast, and you can listen to it wherever you get your podcasts. We will also have a video of our conversation on State Champs Michigan's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram page, as well as the State Champs website, statechampsnetwork.com. Time now for TJ's takes. Way too early 2023 Mr. Basketball talk. Predictions for who just might be in the Final Five, if there is five, this time next year. First up, UD Jesuit already out of the playoffs this season, but with guard Sonny Wilson coming back, you have to include them already as state championship contenders for Sonny's senior campaign. He's got 6 offers.
Sonny Wilson's such a phenomenal player. And if you think the Catholic League is good this year, wait till they're all seniors next year. And Sonny Wilson, obviously going to be a senior. What he's done for the Catholic League, what he's done for the University of Detroit Jesuit is unmatched just because, he's pretty much the focal point and guys know what they have to do. It's just a measure of stopping him.
Yeah, he's been doing it for years. Next, Brother Rice combo guard Jonathan Blackwell is another sought-after guy in Division I. Brother Rice will be back next year and very strong, and I have to say that because you have John's teammate, Curtis Williams Jr., coming back, and Alabama and Maryland have extended invitations for his services. Both guys might be candidates.
Well, they both have high major offers. You mentioned that Maryland as well as
Alabama
have offered Curtis. Now, if you look over at Sonny, he's got an offer from Wisconsin, who had a phenomenal year in the Big Ten. So they're probably going to wind up on that high major level. Will they wind up competing for votes? That's something to be said later on in the, let's give ourselves another year. But I don't think that we've seen that since Joe Crawford and Malik Hairston, back in 2005, 4? So yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a minute. Port Huron Northern's Tyler Jameson might be someone that a lot of people might not be familiar with. I do know this. He had 59 points and 26 rebounds in a game this season.
He sure did. And not only that, he's already the all-time leading scorer at Port Huron Northern. He's putting up video game numbers, which cannot be denied. If we really look at it from a stats standpoint, and we did talk with Coach Norgrove, who heads the Mr. Basketball election committee for BCAM. He did kind of mention that it is a resume thing rather than what you just did your senior year. So yeah, Tyler's going to be in there.
Finally, Grand Blanc's R.J. Taylor, the straw that stirs the drink for the defending D1 state champs. For 2 years now, people have been asking via articles on the internet and YouTube videos, will he be Mr. Basketball 2023?
Oh, well, I'll tell you this. He had an excellent start. Freshman year, great year. Sophomore year wins a state championship. This year, they're still alive. And so let's see if Grand Blanc can wind up making another trip to the Breslin. But yeah, R.J. Taylor is the guy who stirs the drink for Grand Blanc, and we'll see what they can do, leading into next year. Still early, guys, still early.
And if they do get to the Breslin, that does carry weight into next year's Mr. Basketball race, because voters get a chance to see him on the big stage. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. All right, guys, next week's show is going to be a recap of the quarters, and we'll preview the Final Four. Now, we will have cameras at several regional championships. Let's get TJ's quick thoughts on each. Division I, Clarkson versus Detroit CC at Lake Orion.
I'm taking Detroit CC.
All right. Also, D1, Hamtramck and Orchard Lake St. Mary's at Renaissance.
Orchard Lake St. Mary's.
It's going to be close. More D1, Belleville and Romulus at Novi. Interesting matchup.
I love this matchup. It goes back to 15 years ago when we talk about Leon Freeman, when you talk about Jarrett Smith, when you talk about all the rivalry that was back when Nate Oates was just a wee little lad, earning his bones for where he is now at Alabama. But I'm going to take Belleville in this one.
Yeah, and finally in Division II, and we talked about this on the podcast, Detroit Edison and Romulus Summit Academy at Carlton Airport.
I'll tell you what, not only are Mark White and Bo Neely friends, but this is going to be a great matchup that has been long expected. They played earlier in the year. Romulus Summit wound up winning it on the way to their charter championship. But in this one, I'm going to go with DEPSA.
All right, so we shall see. That's our show. We go a little more in depth on the predictions, as I just mentioned, on the companion podcast. And we had a really fun interview with TJ Meerman. So check it out wherever you get your podcasts. Follow TJ on Twitter at ScoopIPS. I am Lorne Plant. Can't wait for next week. We will see. State Champs Michigan's Hangtime is presented by Lawrence Technological University. LTU offers over 24 varsity sports for men and women, along with several dozen world-class undergraduate programs. Athletic and academic scholarships are available in all sports. Visit LTUathletics.com and recruit yourself. Hangtime is also brought to you by the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. The Detroit Medical Center Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine Pros. Do you have a sports injury, or are you just looking to take your game to the next level? Go where the pros go. Visit dmc.org/gamechangers. The Detroit Athletic Club Foundation's Athlete of the Year Awards. Applications being accepted for the male and female high school athletes of the year. Check out previous winners and download the application today at dacathleteoftheyear.com. Goodman Acker Law Firm. During the most difficult times of your life at Goodman Acker, you work with the same attorney and team the entire length of your case. They fight for you just like they would a member of their own family. Goodman Acker, good decision. Call 1-800-TRUSTED. And the Basketball Coaches Association of Michigan, BCAM, has launched the One Team campaign, celebrating the great game by promoting unity among teams, coaches, and communities. Find out more at bcam.org.